Hello everyone, this is Lucy05 and welcome to the Global Sancho toy review. And today we will be looking at the 2010 release by Hasbro of the G.I. Joe Pursuit of Cobra action figure review. And today's action figure review will be looking at the Toy Us exclusive of Spirit Iron Knife. Now I got this straight from a Toy Us toy department store near my workplace for 39 ringgit and 90 cents. That's the retail price. Now what's funny about this exclusive figure, the other one would be the Quick Kick figure, which is also another exclusive figure, that the Toy Us toy department stores has stocked a lot of these two figures. A lot as in 3 cases at least. And each case would actually hold up to most likely 12 figures there. And each of these Toy Us toy department stores actually stock full of these figures, but not a single wave 1 figure for the Pursuit of Cobra, which is kind of interesting to know. Enough about that, let's take a look at the front part of packaging. The front part of packaging bears resemblance to the old 35th anniversary packaging. With a mixture of the Rise of Cobra, you'll notice the artwork on one side here, which is covered in the blue glow. The Rise of Cobra version, you got the artwork where the character is covered with green glow instead. What's interesting to note about the artwork is you notice that the artwork for Spirit Iron Knife is rather, well, big. So tall that it actually covers some part of the fonts itself for the G.I. Joe logo, which is kind of interesting. One side here you got the name for Spirit Iron Knife, and at the bottom of the name itself you've got the G.I. Joe logo, which is, well, the same as the Rise of Cobra. Now let's take a look at the plastic bubble there. The entire plastic bubble is encased with a lot of accessories for Spirit Iron Knife. You've got the machete going on, you've got the axe going on, you've got the assault rifle, you've got the compound bow, you've got the arrows there, you've got the 2 snakes there. Not too sure why they would add the 2 snakes. And at the back of the figure is the base stand. Now what's interesting to note is that at the bottom of the base stand there is no catalog this time. I guess they decided to, well, remove that. Now at the back here, at the top part here, you'll notice it's a small little write-up on what G.I. Joe is really about and who they are up against, which is Cobra. And their mission is the Jungle Assault. You'll notice the top part of the fonts itself and everything is all in, well, yellow to follow the style of the G.I. Joe. For the Cobra it's all in red, even the names here are all red. For the Joes it's all in yellow here. Now you notice there's a nice little diorama of the Jungle Assault. You've got a figure there, a Joe figure, which I have no idea what figure is that. You've got a van vehicle covered in mud. Here you've got the Jungle Assault Duke in closer view. There's another Viper unit, or it could be in the Night Adder. It's really hard to tell. There's a Jungle Viper hiding there, camouflage. There's another figure here, which is really hard to tell whether if it's a figure or it's just part of the, well, terrain itself. But there's another Jungle Viper here, but it's really hard to see. It's really nice little diorama there. Now let's take a look at the file card at the bottom part here. There's actually more to say here for the Joe version. Spirit Iron Knife, name Charlie Iron Knife, serial number 49289-RP21, grade E-5, Sergeant, mission equipment, RTS remote terrain survival backpack. Spirit Iron Knife is a wilderness tracker on the G.I. Joe team. He uses a combination of innate ability, skills learned from his Native American elders, and military training to find and follow signs in any environment. He uses his skills in the jungle to track the movements of Cobra troopers concealed in the dense tropical forest, which is quite interesting. So without further ado, let's open up this packaging so we can molest the toy. Be right back. And we're back after removing the figure and the rest of the stuff out from packaging. Now inside the packaging it comes with a base stand, a G.I. Joe base stand, which is actually the same exact mold from the 25th anniversary version. Got a nice G.I. Joe logo on the top here and 2 pegs for the figure to stand on. On the nameplate itself it stated Spirit Iron Knife. And at the back there, 2007, Hasbro, made in China. I don't see any changes there. There's no change at all. It's just the same old, well, base time for the 25th anniversary version. Next we'll take a look at the, well, the 2 little snakes there. Green snakes. Not too sure why they actually gave this figure with these 2 snakes there. And this 2 snakes is actually the same snake that came in the Rise of Cobra. Some of the figures like the Crimson Neo Viper, is actually the same thing, except this one is a total, well, green snake. Next we'll take a look at the Tomahawk X. This is the same accessory that Pursuit of Cobra actually has. Nothing special. A machete, very nicely done. An M16 rifle attached with a shotgun, but this shotgun piece here is a bit warped. A compound bow, which I really love this entire sculpt. This is actually a new accessory, and it's really nicely detailed, nicely painted as well. Simple. It's a pity that they don't add a string, or well, at least a plastic, well, single line there to simulate a string. It would be nice, but it's a pity there's nothing there to support it. Because if it has a string or whatsoever, Spirit Iron Knife there can hang it onto his shoulder, because there's no way for you to actually store this weapon, or the M16 rifle, or the machete, or the Tomahawk axe. The final accessory is this piece here. It's sort of like a backpack. There's a giant peg at the back to store all his arrows here, and this is the only arrow is detachable. You notice there's two clip-ons there. You're supposed to place it there. Now you can actually pose the figure to hold the bow with the arrow itself, but you have to take some time to work around with it. Now the final accessory will be the vest itself. You got a nice little vest, which is actually nicely detailed and nicely painted. Some of the parts here are well painted in silver. The buckles itself, very nicely done. So that's at the back here, and it doesn't seem to look like a cheap plastic feel. It looks actually well painted. And here you got a gun in the holster, but it's part of the vest itself, and you can actually remove the vest by popping off the button on the side here and popping off the head, which is kind of pain sometimes. Now, of all these weapons itself, the figure has some problems holding it on his right hand. You notice the right hand is actually stretched a bit more far apart compared to the left hand itself. The left hand is ideal to hold all of the weapons. However, the right hand, can't hold anything except for the bow, or maybe the M16, barely, until it's a bit too loose and it falls off from his hand. So does the bow itself. So the right hand is, well, from what I pose it around for, you can actually have him hold the end tip of the arrow itself. So it will take some time to adjust around it, because it's not easy to do something like that, but it's doable. Now, with all these weapons, there's also something to take a note about. A lot of collectors would say that the figure itself bears some resemblance to Billy from the movie Predator. And the funny thing is, he does dress in a similar style as well. He is in, Billy of course is in a jungle motif, and Spirit Iron Knife is also in a jungle motif here, with both characters also have a bandana on the top. And Billy from the movie also carries some sort of, assault rifle, and a machete, where he used it on the last end of the movie itself. He cut himself on the chest to face the Predator on the bridge, which he died in a horrible death. Interesting, isn't it? But another interesting note is that they also gave him accessories. This accessory, the bow and the arrows, which in a similar style, he's also designed in a similar style as John Rambo. Where he uses the compound bow and everything else. So you basically have two characters bears resemblance to this figure, the Spirit Iron Knife, which is kind of interesting. Now let's take a look at the paint job on the figure itself. Now the paint job is alright. It's light green and a little bit dull green there, but it's not bad. The flesh tone skin is painted nicely done. I really like this eagle logo, or phoenix logo, on the side here. It's very nicely detailed. And the eyes, he has this really crazed look on his eye. He looks like, Billy from the Predator movie. Very nicely done. I really love the sculpt of the head itself, the face, bandana and the back here. So you got John Rambo slash Billy slash Spirit Iron Knife all rolled into one figure. Really, really nice. I really love the sculpt on the vest as well. Very detailed stuff. Now the torso sculpt is actually also new. The entire figure sculpt is actually new. The torso has, well, nothing special to talk about. It's actually wearing a singlet or tank top, if you want to call it that way. And on the side here, everything is nicely new sculpt. You know, just all the strings have been tied on one side. So does the other side. All this nice little paint job on the band itself, covering his upper bicep. Leg sculpt is also new, very nicely done. 2 different knee caps, very nice. Pouch on one side as well, very detailed stuff. However, the spots are not really well done. It looks like he's wearing a green pajamas pants. It's supposed to be, I would say, camouflage. You know, a little bit tiny little dots, not larger dots, so it's not properly well done. Now let's take a look at the figure's articulation. Head can actually pivot a little bit up and down. It's a bit hindered by the back hair and the neck piece of the vest itself. Can turn the head 360 degrees and move side to side a little bit. Shoulder here can turn 360 degrees and move all the way up like so. The elbow here can bend this far and back a little bit and turn, well, solid 360 degrees because due to the excess plastic at the elbow here. Wrist joint here turn 360 degrees, and both hands actually have an open hand, but this one's stretched a bit too further out. Torso here turn 360 degrees and can pivot a little bit forward and backwards just a little bit, and can't even go side to side. Hip joint here can move forward all the way straight, side, and the knee joint here is double jointed, so it bends this far. And the ankle joint here bends down, up a little bit, and then 360 degrees. Overall, I really like the design of Spirit Iron Man because you actually get 2 other characters rolled into one figure itself. You got John Rambo / Billy / Spirit Iron Man. So if I'm gonna give a rating on this, I just don't like the spots on the pants itself, and the green should go a bit more darker, but it's alright. So I give it an 8 out of 10. So I thank you all for watching. This is Lucy05 and I'm signing off.